Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. I am going to attempt to do my 2024 Techo Kaigi in this video. I'm going to do my best to put timestamps down below per the vote on my YouTube community. The majority voted for all of the books in one video, so I'm going to do timestamps like I normally do just because I know this is going to be a long one. So grab a beverage of choice, and I'm just going to start with the littlest and work my way across. So starting with this little book here, I've showed this before in my 2023 videos. This is my ink archive. So I have a swatch of every single ink I have ever tried in here, and then also a pen inventory in the back. I plan on keeping this little book for ever until I run out of pages and have to start a new one, or it falls apart and I have to glue it back together and put it on the shelf. But I decided to go ahead and house it in a cover for this year, and the cover I chose is the Hobonichi A6 size Liberty Fabrics. I think it's green hollyhocks or orange hollyhocks. I don't remember the name of the cover, I'm so sorry, but it is the one from the 2023 Liberty Fabrics edition. I felt it was such a beautiful color. I love the soft sagey green inside. I love the florals on the outside. I love this. I will say it is already busting at the seams for this very chunky little book, but I don't take this anywhere. It just sits on a shelf, and I wanted to put it in a cover because I wanted it to look pretty. It's completely unnecessary, but I wanted it to look pretty. So my intentions for this planner in the sense of a Techo Kaigi are to continue my ink archive for this. I want to make sure that I am documenting all of the inks that I am discovering and seeing and receiving, any new ones I get this year. And I like to document when I use up samples and things like that in this as well. So if I don't have it anymore, I make a note that it is completely used up and that I don't replace it with anything if it's something I didn't really enjoy or something I didn't see the need to replace. So my intentions with this for 2024 is to keep it updated, to just have it as a place to archive. The next little book I have here in my 2023 collection is the Magic of I Pocket Astrology Planner, and this is in the color Mushroom. I have a Hobonichi HON clear cover on this. It is the A6 size. I've heard that people can put them in their, I think Gilio was suggested to me, and then Moterm also holds them if you want to put them in a cover. I discovered in my 2023 versions that the foiling on the cover itself would rub off over time, so I wanted to put a cover on it just to help preserve the foiling, but maybe I was just being really rough with mine, I don't know. But my intentions for this one in terms of, again, the Techo Kaigi is to be a gratitude journal. I want to write my daily gratitude with this. I want to be really consistent with my everything. And I've already kind of started using it since we are a little bit into 2024, but I will show a full flip of everything that I do for this once, the month passes and I do my full flip through all the months. But I'm hoping with this, I'm going to have a mindset shift in a way, be more positive, and be more aware of the small things that are happening in my life that I need to be grateful for. Whether that's I just wake up in the morning, whether that's have a really good cup of coffee, whether it's I'm grateful I did the dishes that day. I think the small things get away from me, and I want to have a place that I can document the small, the little, the big, the large, whatever, in one place and have a reflection on it. And then I think this will help with my mindset in 2024 just to be more positive and just to have a better outlook in general. For the next book here, this is the Hobonichi HON A6 in the Liberty Fabrics Emma and Georgina. I have this again in the HON clear cover in the A6 size just because this is going to be my art and ink journal for 2024. So I have another ink journal too, but we'll get to that one later. But for this one, I definitely want to help kind of preserve what I'm doing with my inks and see different families of inks together and work on my art practice to be more mindful of my art. So my intentions for this one is to develop my art skills continually to make sure that I am keeping the creative juices flowing in a way. And again, I'm not going to flip through too much of this, but I did recently do the Diamine ink vent in it, and it was a very pleasurable experience, minus 2 inks, which will make me sad every time I look at them. But I was very happy to see all of that in one place. And I think over the year, being able to do all of my currently inks in here, any kind of art practice, trying different mediums, I think this will be a really fun place to look back to. And I hope the intentions I have of helping with my creativity and art and stuff will be good for this one. The next little book here I have is actually the smallest book I have going into 2024, and this is a Passport Common Planner, the compact version. The cover is a Bassi & Co. Field Notes cover. This is in the pine leather, I believe. It's the new green one she has, and the front is the earth leather. I just have a couple of charms on it that I made myself from my local craft store, and yeah. I have intentions for this to be a tarot journal, and I've actually already kind of started with this. So I have another little booklet in here, but I don't actually use it for anything. And I don't put this on the strings or in the slips because I like to look at both covers. Maybe at some point I'll put it on the strings, but for now I'm good. But I definitely have intentions of using this as my tarot journal and basically working with my intuition is my intentions for this, to help broaden my intuition, to help get better at seeing what I'm doing in terms of my interpretation of the cards. And I will definitely say I'm using this mainly as a place of learning. It's not going to be really heavily my notes on my intuition, just because I do want to share this with you guys. So I don't want to make it too personal, because if it's too personal, I won't share it. But if it's just more of a learning experience, which is mainly what I'm using it for in 2024, I think it's a good idea to show kind of like how I'm learning it myself, just because I feel like it's a good record for me to look back on too. I do have a clear cover on this. This is the Sterling Ink clear cover. It is very tight. I've had to warm it up several times. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on here, but for now it is working. I may just have to keep warming and warming and warming and warming and warming it up until it just fits. I don't know. It's also really cold right now because it's winter time. Maybe that's affecting it. I don't know. But back to intentions for this, it's definitely just to help with my intuition and growing my brain in a way and learning more about tarot, because I think it's a really interesting thing. The next book I have here is my Common Planner N2, or the weeks size. So I want to use this as a health journal. This cover, by the way, is a custom from Sojourner. It is the olive leather that I love so much. It's like suede. It's so nice. And this is a special brown pocket. I have a little bit of tear here, a little lip here. I love it so much. It's the designer one. As we go through this video, I will definitely try to name off everything I can, but Sojourner is probably one of my favorite leather cover makers, just because they're super thin and flexible and portable, and I love the leathers she has. Rowena is the owner, and I love their covers, so there's going to be a lot in here about that. I'm sorry. But for this planner itself, this is the N2 Compact Horizontal Common Planner by Sterling Ink in the forest color. And my intentions for this are, like I said, as a health journal. So I want to use this as a space to where I can basically document my health for the year. And I've already done a setup of this, but if you're interested in the flip through, just stay tuned. I'll share one every month when I update it and everything, but I'm really happy with the one I did for 2023. And so going into 2024, this is something I really want to continue doing, just because it's really satisfying to see everything I did in a year health-wise, whether it was exercises, meals, bad days, good days, anything like that. And I'm really excited to use this for 2024 and see where my health goes, and that it's going to be documented. I'm very happy with this. The next set of books I have here, I can't open or show you, but this cover is the Traveler's Standard Size cover from Sojourner. This is the special brown leather, again, the light version, and this is a designer natural leather cover pocket. I have a little clip. I love it so much. In the front here, I just have one of the Hobonichi Weeks memo notepads that I use for personal things, and then a ruler that I just got from the Coffee Monsters Co. because I do use a ruler quite regularly in these books. So the set of books I have in here are 2 Hobonichi Weeks. One is a mega and one is a standard. I use this little field notes book here as a place to come up with designs for my sticker shop. So that's what this planner set is for my business and work. So the mega is what I mainly use for business inquiries, any kind of spreadsheets that I'm working on, product listings, more of like back end stuff, which is why it has so many notes pages. And then the other one, the regular one, which is the Shihai Sumeyer one for 2024. This one is what I'm using for as a social media planner. So I like to make sure I'm keeping track of any affiliates I'm a part of, make sure I'm promoting their products or whatever, dropping them if I don't like working with them. I just like to make sure I'm on top of all of my things, and that's why I have 2 books for this. I think if I had gotten a Sterling ink full year, the big chunky 520 page one, I could have combined these together, but it was after the pre-order and I wasn't super sure I'd get one, so I'd ordered this already and I didn't feel like selling these 2 and ordering that, and I'm just using what I have. So I am doing a 2 book system instead of a 1 book system. But my intentions for this are basically to utilize these pages to help grow my business, grow my channels, keep my online presence a positive space, and go from there and work on designs because that's something that I really enjoy. But that is my intentions for both of these books here. The next book I have here is my garden planner. So again, I had one of these in 2023 that I showed, and this is the one I'm using for 2024. This cover is again by Sojourner. I don't remember the leathers that these are. I do believe they are discontinued, but this is the Nulty Listy size. It is a bigger size than the TN by about, I think, like ½ inch. The planner that I chose is the Sterling Ink N1, or the standard TN size, and the compact horizontal quartz. And like I said, I'm planning on using this as my garden journal. So I want to use this as a space to help grow my garden, help show more of what I'm using and what I'm doing in the different seasons. I definitely think that having a space like this was really beneficial for me the past few years that I have done a garden journal. I think my 2022 one was my favorite. Last year's I didn't really do very well with it, but I'm hoping with the more space that I have this year that I can be better about making notes about my garden and yeah, just so on and so forth from that. But the garden planner's intentions are definitely to grow more this year and be able to write down more recipes and notes about the different vegetables that I'm using and growing and flowers and things like that. So definitely a more productive space for me in terms of documenting what is going on in my garden. I feel like last year I didn't do as well of a job as I could, and I'm hoping that this year with a bigger space and a bigger journal that I will be able to do more with it. The next book here I just talked about in my 2023 planner review, and this is my love letter journal. Again, I will not open it because it is very sensitive to me and my boyfriend. We write each other love letters in this. This is an Archer and Olive A5 dot grid notebook. I believe the cover was called Rose Gold. It is not available anymore. I did double check, but it is just a nice space that I can share thoughts about how I'm feeling about my boyfriend and him vice versa, and it's a nice space for both of us. The next book I have here is again one I have showed a few times on this channel, and this is my reading journal. So this is a Magic of Eye journal notebook thing that I basically it's the blank one in the fawn color, I think. But I basically make notes of the different books that I have read with an image of the book itself. And I've been keeping up with this for 2023, and I'm hoping in 2024 my intentions are to continue it. So I want to keep documenting the books that I am reading. I fell off for sure in the end of 2023, and I don't want that to happen in 2024, but we will see. I definitely want to do better about reading and not dropping off books. So I didn't have as many books in 2023 as I was hoping, but I'm hopeful that in 2024 I will meet my goal number and have all of the notes and everything in this little book here. Next up, we have my A5 Hobonichi HON in the clear cover again. I won't show too much of this just because this is my memory planner. So I plan on using this as a space to document everything in my life, almost like a scrapbook in a sense. But I definitely want to use this as a place for me. I don't think I will be sharing much of this book on my channel or my platforms just because it is going to be full of really personal things, and I don't think that's appropriate for me to share based on myself. I do have a really detailed setup of how I set everything up and how I plan on using it, but in terms of opening up the rest of the pages, I'm not going to show. But intentions wise, I do plan on using this, like I said, as a memory keeper. So it's going to hold basically everything that I have done in 2024 by the end of the year. That's my intentions for it, is that it's just going to be full of words and pictures and stories and fun things and bad things and just all of the things. And I'm hoping that it will hold chunk really well, but we again shall see, since this is a new product for Hobonichi this year. But I'm hoping, yeah, intentionally wise, that this will be a good space for me to just have a bunch and a bunch and a bunch of memories. The next book I have here is a book that I recently did a flip through of, and this is the Hobonichi A5 notebook. This is my ink swatch journal. So I plan to continue to use this as a place to do big ink swatches, but my intentions for it are mainly just to have it as a backup. So I want to use my planner first, but for bigger swatches like the big circles, I want to do it in this book. So my intentions are to finish it someday, but my intentions for 2024 are definitely going to be just to use it as a space for bigger ink swatches if I need it. It's not going to be in the forefront of all of my ink stuff. I definitely want to use my little book for that more. The next book I have here is my personal journal. So again, not going to open and show the insides, but this cover is again a Sojourner. This is the stag leather with a I think it's called Travelers or Scoop pocket now, with the undyed leather. I love this leather. It has pull up. It's this warm chestnut brown color. It's so beautiful. But the book in here is a sterling ink A5 520 page notebook. So it's just all blank pages. And I usually use these journals as kind of like a brain dump. But my intentions for 2024 with this is basically to have more of a space that I can intentionally write. So like write intentions, like morning pages, like how I'm feeling, obviously continuing with the brain dump and any kind of things I need to get off my chest and onto paper, anything like that. But I want to be more intentional with my writing. I don't just want to be like writing because I like to write. Like I want to write like, why am I doing this? Like break it down into like the nitty gritty and kind of learn a little bit more about myself. So that's my intentions for this, and hopefully 520 pages will be enough for a full year. I can always, I guess, get another notebook too, but I think this will be enough pages because I didn't finish my 2023 version. Then again, I didn't have a full year in that one, so I don't know, but I'm hoping this will be enough pages since I do like to write. The next book I have here is the Hobonichi 5-year, and I do plan on sharing how I'm going to use this in a future video, but I wanted to show that I already messed up my cover. This is the Hobonichi A5 5-year undyed cover. I don't know if I laid it in something or if this is just naturally part of the leather and it just like wore off a little bit. I don't know. I did have it laying in the sun for a little bit, so it's already kind of changed color. It's not as bright nude as it was, I guess. It's a little bit darker now. I do like to patina my covers, so I will definitely make this one extra patina-y. But in terms of intentions for this book, I want this to be a record of my history in a way, and kind of like what's going on with the world and how things are moving on. So like I said, I'll make a future video on this one, but intentions for it for sure are to do a daily little snippet of the weather, the history of the world, and probably like a major event for me of the day, or if there was no major event, just a little blurb or something. But I definitely don't want to add a bunch of stuff to this. I want it to be mainly writing with maybe a few stickers, but I mainly want this to just be almost like the history of Danielle in a way. But this is my first 5-year journal ever, so I'm excited to work with it this year for the first time and see how I do. The next book I have here is my spending book for 2024. Again, I'm not going to open this because I've already started using it for this year, so it does have very personal information for me. But if you're interested in the setup of this, I did share it with my Common Planner setup video. My intentions for this spending book are the same as I have done every year, and that is to have a analog or paper record of my finances. Spending, income, packages, orders, anything like that. I want to have a physical documentation of it just because I like to have it in a paper version in addition to a online version or my spreadsheets that I use in Excel. I like to have a physical version too, just because it's easier to take this with me if I need to go to a finance office than it is a flash drive and having to upload and explain things that way. It's just, this is easier for me to work with, and that's why I'm going to continue to do this. But intentions wise, again, keep up with my finances for sure. And the last book for my 2024 lineup or Tacho Kaigi that we're doing today is my A5 Common Planner. So this is housed in the Hobonichi A5 Bordeaux taut cover. I love these covers. I had the Celeste blue one that I absolutely adore, but this one is just such a beautiful buttery like burgundy color, and it's like a nice shiny pair of leather shoes. I love this cover so much, and it holds the Common Planner just fine. I do also have a clear cover on this. I don't know if the camera will pick it up with my lights on, but it is the Lawrence Phelps Designs Nib and Flare collab. Clear cover in the A5 size. I got the whole collection because they were like super cheap when I went to look for them. My intentions for this book is mainly to just be my everything planner, to have a space that I can seriously write down literally anything that I want, a place that I can document and review and just have almost a book to archive, not quite like a memory keeper, but more of a space that I can do messy planning if I need to do messy planning. And I will say I am absolutely in love with this book. I ordered the undated one for 2024 or 2023 and fell in love with that as well. And I think with this one, I'm in the same boat. I'm enamored with the structure along with the freedom in the back pages. It's just fabulous. But my intentions for this is mainly to keep control of my life. This will be my main planner that I structure myself with time blocking, lists, keeping track of the things that I like to keep track of. It has space to journal in it if I want to make a little journal entry for the day. This will be my everything. I would call this an everyday carry, but it doesn't really leave my house, so I don't know if I could call it an everyday carry. I would definitely say If I made this an everyday carry, it would be a little heavy just because it's really big. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't really leave the house. So, but this is still my everything planner here for sure. Overall, I know how this looks. I know this is quite a lot of books. I know this is probably a bit overwhelming for some people, but this is honestly how my brain thrives, is having a space for each category of my life. If I tried to put this all in one book, as I've said before on my channel, it would be an enormous task to try to get it all together. I have tried other systems like rings and even inserts, but the archiving of those is just really frustrating to me. So having a book is just much easier. I do want to say I don't want to influence anybody to add books to their lineup if they have a set thing already. This is what works for me, and I'm sharing how it works for me. I don't want to pressure anybody to order something or add something. All I want to do is inspire you to find a creative space that works for you. And I definitely find these creative spaces for me works really well. And I'm hoping that your system works really well for you too. Or if it doesn't, that you can find a way to either work with it to make it work or add something if you really need to. But this is just my perspective on all of the books that I have. I do want to say what number of books I am starting with, and that is 16 books. So I know that sounds insane, but I ended 2023 with I think like 13 books. So I'm not adding too many more, and honestly, I don't even use all of these every single day. So it's not like it's an insane task for me, I guess. And this is my hobby. This is my favorite thing to do. So I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. I do want to say, if you are interested in seeing any of these books as I fill them out, I will be sharing most of them on my channel in a monthly flip through video at the end of every month, or the beginning of the next month even. Just depends. So if you're interested in how I'm using them, I will definitely be sharing all of that. I also have setups for most of these books if you're interested in those as well, just because I prefer to see a full process of start to finish. And I definitely hoped that sharing those with you guys was very beneficial, but let me know. As always, I always love to see what you guys have to say. Anyways, if you have any questions about anything I used here today or questions about specific setups, please let me know in the comments. I will do my best to direct you to either a video I've already made or explain it as best I can in the comments. But yeah. I want to thank you so much for watching, for joining me here today. I would love to know what planners you guys are using in 2024. What's your lineup looking like? Do you have a million planners like me? Or are you a one book kind of person? I would love to know. But yeah, thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.